start, even before introductions, with the land acknowledgement. We acknowledge Paime Pahait, also known as the West River, which is what the Tongva people call the LA River, as a source of life for all of us residing on the traditional lands of the Gabrielino Tongva and Quiche people, and the headwater of the river as it flows from the traditional lands of the Chumash and Tavian people. We thank our Indigenous brothers and sisters for their past, present, and future caretaking of this land, this river, this place where we all currently sit and enjoy the shade of these beautiful trees that have probably, oh no, they're sycamores. But they're not sycamores, I should say. They are eucalyptus. They kind of rolled in with a lot of people that displaced the first people. But may we hope and continue to strive to work in community with each other and nature and the indigenous peoples of this region to heal ourselves and the air, lands, waters, and extended family of beings that sustain us. My name is Jenna Didier. I am the Executive Director of LA River Arts. Yeah. We're really happy to be here today. It's a real labor of love working with 1111 and putting this together. I want to thank 1111 Projects and everybody on the 1111 team. Thank you for the wonderful art installations all up and down the river. They curated that, and Erin and her team have done an amazing thing here in this half-mile stretch. I want to tell you a little bit about the mission of LA River Arts. We are in the midst of transforming 51 miles of the LA River, also known as Paime Pahait, as a place for art, nature, and community. In 2014, the LA River was founded by Esther Margulies, who is here in the back. Hello, Esther. And Elaine Renee Weissman. They envisioned that with a combination of advocacy, public policy, and the arts, we could represent the river that we share. Dynamic public art is the ideal platform for focusing public attention on the LA River. Together, we can learn to be stewards of the watershed, regenerating it through creative and community-led projects like this one, like daylighting. Through planning, conversation, and art-driven engagement, we work to honor the founding communities of this historic landscape, elevate the visibility of artists working in collaboration with the river, and coming out of the communities that we serve, such as the San Fernando Valley. Thank you very much to all the San Fernando Valley artists who came out today to do these installations. And we hope to continue to support the vibrant communities the river flows through, such as Studio City. With that, I'm going to hand over the show to Ann Wellman, who is the artistic director of the Long Beach Community Theater and the director of today's show, Reflections.
Welcome, good evening, and welcome to Reflections. How does it feel? Thank you so much for joining us, and we're so glad that you are here. This performance and the gorgeous zine you will receive at the end of the show are the collective brainchild of Nancy Lynée Wu, the original visionary, who you will meet shortly, combined with the leadership and creative wherewithal of Jenna Didier. I'm so glad you said your name. I lost her. I'm so glad she said her name. I was going to say it all wrong. Didier and her team from LA River Arts and myself representing the Long Beach Community Theater, coming alongside to direct the show and assist in bringing the baby to life. So it was a group effort and it has been so much fun. I have met the most amazing people from all over LA County and am grateful to have been invited to be a part of this Art Forward project. So the way this all came together was over the past 6 months, we held 4 incredible exploratory and creative walks along different points of the LA River. We got to know one another as we shared our stories and our connection to nature. We encouraged the participants to share what is seen versus unseen, including their joys and sorrows. We encouraged them to connect themselves to, through, and with nature by telling us how it feels. This was both abstract and concrete. Either way, it was soul-stirring and moved us to action. From the river walks, we put out the call for submissions, and man, oh man, did we get some amazing submissions. Go figure, nature is inspiring. We then met at the Billie Jean King Library in Long Beach for a couple of workshops to continue to explore, get to know one another, and share our stories and talents. And lo and behold, we are ready. Please know there will be a short 10 to 15 minute Q&A after the show. I'll bring the whole cast back up, including Nancy and Jenna and myself. And we'd love to hear from you. Just feedback, any questions, thoughts, comments you'd like to share with us. I'll be back in a few minutes to start the show, but first, please allow me to introduce the original visionary, poet, published author, dream maker, nature lover, and an activist herself, my amazing friend, Nancy Lynée Wu.
So my name is Nancy Lynée Wu. I am a poet as well as the producer of today's program. I could not be more thrilled to present Reflections, How Does It Feel?, which is a California creative tour project featuring 15 talented performers sharing their reflections on climate change, nature, ecology, healing, and the LA River, which we are fortunate to have right here behind us, or in front of you. So it's been such a delight working with Anne and the cast. And thank you to LA River Arts for co-producing this as my nonprofit partner. I am also grateful to the California Arts Council, which has presented the opportunity for this project, and the support of the Arts Council for Long Beach. So I originally envisioned this project after having the privilege of working with Anne on a really special project about our inner lives during the pandemic called Behind the Mask. And I just thought to myself, what if we could do something similar to that about climate change? Because as most of us probably know, human-caused climate change might be the greatest global crises our species has faced in the last 10,000 years. It's ironic that at the point we have achieved the highest standard of living, that the cost of that luxury is often the destruction of the environment. Every hamburger we eat contributes to deforestation. Every time we drive our gas car, we pump more CO2 into the atmosphere. Every time we throw away plastic, it ends up in the landfill or the ocean. Animals are going extinct, floods, fires, and heat waves are becoming ever more destructive and frequent. And it may not be fun to talk about, but the climate crisis is here, and it's happening now. So our world is rapidly changing, and I don't know about you, but sometimes I feel somewhat overwhelmed and terrified with everything, especially in light of all the tragedies that we see happening across the world. So what is any one person supposed to do about it? And while it's true that the major changes we need to see happen, like policy and product changes, are in the hands of our government and corporations, we all play a part in creating, recreating, and taking care of the precious world that we live in, and each other. So the radical shifts that we need will require a huge mass of people using their voices, their votes, their economic choices, and lifestyle decisions to move us into a sustainable rather than destructive future. That means me and you doing what we can to change our mindset and our habits to be part of that solution. And yes, change takes work. Mental, physical, financial, social, and political work. It might mean taking that extra step to research alternatives to plastic at your next party. It might mean composting, taking public transit instead of driving when you can, eating less meat. There are a million different ways each of us can make small changes in our daily lives to transition us into a sustainable society where humans, nature, and technology coexist in harmony. That's the world I want to live in. And while it may still sometimes seem awkward, lonely, or cumbersome to make those types of changes, we're not doing it alone. It helps to join forces with others, whether that's an advocacy organization, working with a group of friends on an issue you care about, or even just normalizing talking about climate and lifestyle changes. No one can do it all, but we can all be cultural leaders in our own way. And you can share your successes with your friends and on social media. We're social creatures. So when we see other people picking up trash or using a reusable bottle, it inspires us. that everything counts. Every win is important. And of course, we can give ourselves grace when we're not always perfect. We can't do everything all at once, but we can keep trying. As long as we are living and breathing on this planet, I believe we owe it to ourselves, our children, our future, and each other to do the work. I love this quote. Each of you is perfect the way you are, and you can use a little improvement. By Suzuki Roshi. So as we're about to witness and experience the beautiful performance today, I want to challenge us all to keep taking strides toward a more thoughtful and reciprocal relationship with our environment. And to keep taking action, keep making changes, keep voting and putting pressure on politicians and corporations. We can't lose hope and we can't give up. So I'm grateful to this cast for sharing their hearts and souls with us today. Artists help us see, feel, experience, and think about these types of big issues, simply by being honest and authentic and expressive. So I want to thank you all again for being here today. And yeah, please stay afterwards for a few minutes of conversation. We also have a brief survey that we humbly, sincerely, and urgently ask you to take afterwards. It'll be up at the table. We also have a zine that we'll be passing out as a part of this project at the end. So, oh, one more thing. There is a little climate pledge up there that if you feel inspired, you would like to sign your name as an act of solidarity. And also, we have a list of potential ideas for different ways of taking action. So we hope that art and activism can live alongside each other. So thank you so much and enjoy the show.
So, everybody ready for the show? Let me introduce our first performer of the night. Our first performer of the night is Elizabeth Estrada, performing a movement piece about the ritual of water immersion and how it transforms the body and mind. It is a mixture of improvised movement and repetitive gestures. Please put your hands together for Elizabeth Estrada.
Beautiful people. I am Franceli Chapman-Varega. I'm going to be performing two pieces, one called Mother Nature and Black Woman. They call you mother. Is it due to the fact that sitting in your presence is nurturing? Or the whispers of your wind brings forth wisdom? Laying in your meadow feels like peace. And staring up at your clouds opens up imagination. Yet mother isn't feeling very honored. You can tell by her temperament. Earthquakes and floods in unfamiliar places, scaring her children. Mother just wants to be considered. Seems as she gets older, we're the ones who forget what she needs. RESPECT. I found out what it means. Nurture her nature. Generations later, we'll say thank you. As I fight for my creative freedom, as I write this poem, I think of you, beautiful Black woman, who's told to sit down, shut up, take it. Don't complain. You won't be treated the same. They'll tell you, don't raise your voice or you'll be ghetto. Don't play tennis. Don't play golf. Don't play any of their sports. The mere presence of you, they won't support. Where is the outcry and the outrage for you, beautiful Black woman you? Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Good to see you all. My name is Karo Ska, and I'm going to be reading two pieces that I wrote at the LA River Sessions Nancy led. This first one is called Underneath. Payamet Pahet's wisdom beckons. She says, I am Mama Earth's circulatory system, meaning she disperses carbon from underneath her pleated mud. Says, I am in despair, meaning she mourns what we've lost to the violence of European colonization, to ravenous industrialization, to rabid slaughter. Says, I am hopeful, meaning she bubbles in prayer that the trash woven in between leaf debris won't be here forever. Maybe we'll stop mass manufacturing hot Cheeto bags. Maybe. We pick up Carl's Jr. wrappers, Starbucks straws, blue bottle caps, mitigating what's at the surface. Payamet Pahet's wisdom beckons us, reminds us we are warriors. We must fight the source, what's underneath. Meaning there's more healing to be found underneath our hearts. Meaning from underneath the ashes of a smoldering discivilization of a smoking empire, she will rise. Meaning from underneath the wings of a red-tailed hawk, we have the power to change what we feel is lost. Thank you. Is, why have you come, she asks. Are you here with intention? Are you here in relation? Do you hear the mountains in my voice? Do you know what beats in the brown clay of my heart? Do you smell the river? Do you smell the rain and the snow on my breath? Do you smell the city, the exhaust of the people? Can your tongue taste the grief that the Army Corps of Engineers laid at my feet with their desire to trap me? Do your lips feel the power of my floods? Do you see my multifaceted eyes, the ones that have witnessed geographic histories from when once the wetlands prevailed? If not, why have you come? Thank you. I'm Audrey Harris. I'll begin with the cactus vendor. Yesterday, a man sold me 4 pieces of cut up cactus. called it San Martin, or was it San Pedro, said it makes mescaline, said it's sacred in Mexico, told me to lay a piece of it on its side, that the south side is the sunniest. Perhaps it was the sway long-haired men hold over me ever since I cried for Jesus. In Mexico, they say the Indians grow their hair long in search of spiritual knowledge. Tenolia, Aztec word for head's energy. Or perhaps it was his eyes, green like his Greenpeace t-shirt, peering at me over Chinese bigotes. Today, I have one green piece of cactus laying on its side and 4 severed stumps in pots. Tell me they will flower into sacred spires. The magic crosses borders. The plants can cure us. And I will empty my pockets once more. If humans were cactuses, we could chop ourselves into pieces, stick them in pots, and multiply. Forearm by forearm, we'd inch toward the sun until we grew strong and young and tall and whole. And my pots would be filled with the ones I love. They say in this life we're meant to wander, and I'm glad I wandered past you that day. Tell me, wise man, how you came to sell cactus pieces on a corner. You hold the secrets of the universe in your hands. April morning. Every April comes a morning when I run to the water, dye my hair lavender, call myself purple, plot vegetables in boxes, banana, peach, collards, and mint, and some unknown fruit still ripening on the vine. And some unknown fruit that still ripens, dreaming on the vine. Morning mist steals past my porch, blankets Long Beach in purple sage and salt. There was a heaviness in the air as we walked toward the water. Tell me that this is what death is like. A cool weight, a silvery silence, a sweet forgetfulness sweeping back into the sea. And this is a mantra to my teacher, George Haas. I'll begin with a quote. My father taught me to love my worst enemy, so I decided to love myself. On nights when the birds don't sing, when thunderstorms fill your head and thoughts churn and flail like vipers' nests, remember the teacher's saying, one dark thought leads to another. It's intriguing to turn toward the darkness, turn toward the light. Say, I love you, keep going. I love you, keep going. I love you, keep going. Soon blackness will emerge into light and shadow. Beauty and blessings fill your night sky.
My name is Donald Hilliard, also known as Acoustic Librarian. I'm going to be playing an original song today called Progress. It was inspired in part by my admiration for those who do whatever they can to fight climate change. We crawl to work in metal shells, fueled by burning dinosaurs, our planet slowly cooking in the smoke. Waves of heat soar higher, the golden state's on fire, though some say global warming is a hoax. Melting polar ice caps, disappearing glaciers lead to the rising of the sea. Hurricanes grow stronger, rain and floods last longer, a bad time to live in Miami. Is this progress? Is this progress? upon our beaches, wash up sea creatures, poisoned by toxic algae. Farmers lose harvest to harsh changing weather, leaving drought and famine for the poor. They migrate for survival, labeled on arrival, invaders teeming on offshore. Is this progress in making America great again? Is this progress? Is this progress? Smirking politicians mock the Green New Deal, but whose is the costly fantasy? To keep investing, nothing will end up costing trillions in plummeting worldwide GDP. We work together, fight for the changes needed for our world to survive, or follow blind guides to the edge of the cliff on a path to collective suicide. Is this progress in making America great again? Will profits and greed be allowed to lead to an uninhabitable land? We need progress in making our planet well again. Let's cause an uproar till we can't be ignored. Don't bury your head in the sand. Is this progress? Is this progress? Is this progress?
Hello, everybody. My name is Carlos Ornelas. I'm going to be doing two pieces, one called Earth and one called Natural. Earth. You claim me, you sell me, and think you own me, yet you hardly even know me. How can you own that which you can never control? I am the one that consumed your ancestors' tombs. I made crops bloom and fed you. I swallowed the corpses of all of your forces, built hooves of the horses. I've held all your orchards upright. I've nurtured the seeds to give birth to trees. My veins are its roots, connected to me. Rivers and streams, faces, feet, blood, mud, explosions, cries. I've erupted and trembled and dismantled your temples, created tsunamis and rainbows alike. I am giver of life, river of light, maker of death, taker of life. I am Mother Nature's mother. I am Earth. Who are you? You were born, taken from me. What have I taken from you? I am Earth, your place of birth. I'll die someday. You will die first. And your works will lose their worth, blanketed beneath my dirt. I am Mother Nature's mother. I am Earth. Who are you? Thank you. This is called Natural. Nature breaks through the cracks in the pavement. Blew me back on the land as if to claim it. What if Mother Earth got her tubes tied and stopped giving birth? No more seeds in the dirt. A miscarriage where all life would perish. Yellow white daisies and red roses become concrete flowers. Gardens harden as the Watts Towers. LA is a woman with tattoos and scars. Her arms are the streets, her legs boulevards. The LA rivers are her veins, aqueduct tear ducts. The sun is the crown that sets on the west, and Big Bear Mountains are her natural breasts. We pierce her epidermis and extract her black blood as metal mosquitoes stick needles in and out of her soil. The ports are her pores, where she pours onto shores. We are her disobedient children. LA was a hippie, turned beatnik, turned punk, turned goth, turned rocker, turned beat girl, turned emo. She will continue to change back into her nature. We cannot save the planet. The planet will save itself. Nature always finds a way. Mother Earth will get her tubes tied and will stop giving birth. A miscarriage where all plant life will perish. Blew me back on the land, here to claim it. Nature breaks the cracks in the pavement. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Vicki Juditz, and this piece is called Last Humans on Earth, and it's part of a comic series of stories I've written called Adventures of the Greenhouse Wife. So it's 2007, and I am trying to keep my balance on a brand new two-wheeler with 21 speeds. I do not need 21 speeds. I just need one speed. But the man at the bike store told me that's how they make them now. I have not been on a bike in over 30 years, and my kid and I, who's about 8 at this time, are riding to the grocery store to reduce our carbon footprints. The lonely, empty bike rack beckons. Endearing in its sad simplicity, I lock up the bikes and we enter the store. I clutch my cloth shopping bag to my chest like a shield as a blast of frigid air from the massive air conditioning system assaults us. Muzak blares, labels from thousands upon thousands of products trucked in, flown in from around the world seem to scream, buy me, choose me, take me home. A voice over the intercom commands, right now, at the customer service desk, get valuable coupons, 2-for-1 tuna fish. Tuna? My kid says, their eyes wide, and see, I've told my kid that a can of tuna fish is so contaminated with mercury, one might as well eat a thermometer. And my kid says, Mom, why would anyone eat tuna? And I say, I don't know. I just don't know. I take a deep breath and I slowly exhale the same invisible CO2 that coal-burning power plants pump out by the ton, the same gas that may alter this planet beyond recognition. I have to calm down. I have to shop. I need apples for my kids' school lunches. Organic apples, the conventional ones are covered with pesticides one can't wash off. The organic apples must be locally grown to save on jet and truck fuel, and they cannot be packaged in that innocuous-looking transparent plastic film that thrown in a landfill will poison groundwater for all eternity. My kid selects 5 organic apples from the nearby town of Oxnard and puts them in my cloth bags. Now, the whole heck of a lot's going to fit in that bike basket. So I'm just going to buy the apples and a package of 100% recycled toilet paper with 85% post-consumer content in a recycled paper wrapper. And an extra large box of baking soda, which I will use to brush my teeth and clean my bathroom. Shopping requires optimism. Remind me that my choices make a difference. Coffee. I desperately crave a cup of coffee from the deli, but I forgot to bring along my metal thermos. And I refuse to use a styrofoam cup that will outlive mankind. If they would let me, I would put my mouth under the spigot of the coffee urn and just drink the stuff straight down. I would not ask for the coffee for organic or fair trade. That is how much I want a cup of coffee. Because coffee soothes me. The muddy liquid allays the panic I feel knowing the glaciers are melting, the Amazon is burning, the Gulf Stream is flowing, oceans are spawning murderous hurricanes, human beings are breeding unchecked, and people, especially people in the United States, people in California, people in Los Angeles, people at the market, including me, are responsible for having brought every living thing on the face of the planet to the brink of annihilation. I look around me. No one seems concerned. And that is because they cannot imagine their world being any different from what they've always known. I can. I can imagine a sky so black with soot and ash from forest fires raging out of control the day is night. I can imagine a dreadful silence after all the birds had become extinct. I can imagine my kid lying in a tent in a refugee camp, perched on the remains of the 10 freeway, clinging to life, their body ravished by some horrific virus carried by swarms of insects multiplying furiously on an overheated planet. If I allow myself to dwell on these images, I'm not going to be able to shop. So I'm buying the apples and the toilet paper and the baby soda. And my kid notices me and points to a woman with a cloth bag in the checkout lane next to ours. So this is 2007. This is rare. I approach her. She looks up and smiles. I'm a pleasant surprise. Idle chit-chat is unnecessary because we both have the bags. And so we know we both receive action alerts from the Natural Resources Defense Council. We belong to the Sierra Club. We compost. It goes without saying we have given up meat, milk, fish, lipstick, nail polish. My kid and I follow this woman outside. There are 3 bikes in the rack. We mount our bikes and we ride away into the beautiful autumn day.
Hi everyone, my name is Myrna Aguilar, and here's my piece, Wildflowers Along the 710N. A field of yellow, orange, and white blooms live in the midst of stems and leaves of green, sprouting along a concrete artery congested with vehicles as I make my way home from Long Beach to Southgate, Monday through Friday. Sitting in traffic, I don't mind it. I gaze to my right, and the sight of the wildflowers' majestic hues ignite my thoughts. The San Gabriel snow-capped peaks loom in the not-so-distant distance. I pull over to the embankment somewhere between Del Amo and Long Beach Boulevard, park my car, get out, find an entrance through the chain-linked fence, take my shoes and corporate cute blazer off, and lay, surrounded by the wildflowers canopy, basking in a blanket of the warm spring afternoon sun, watching a bee get very close to me, gazing at the vibrant California cerulean sky, while steel pylons and power lines tower above, and traffic continues to pass me by. There I am, just me, wondering how many decades or centuries the wildflowers have bloomed along Ayamepa Heights, a laminar flow to the Pacific. Wildflowers leaving their seeds, their legacy that maybe, just maybe, my grandchildren might one day see. And when they ask if I ever played amongst them, I'll say yes. The wildflowers and me. Thank you.
What's up, everybody? My name is Soul Stuf, poet, teaching artist based in the Los Angeles area. And I wrote this poem specifically for this event. It's called Streams of Consciousness. But if you don't mind, I like to begin any and all performances with a self-affirmation mantra. So if you could all just put your hand over your heart space and repeat after me. I believe, I believe, I believe in me.
I believe that.
I believe that right now is not all that I'll be. I believe there's a purpose I'm meant to achieve. I believe that I'll find it or it will find me. Excellent. And if you can hear me, can you clap once? You can feel me without twice. The world is on fire, and I am at odds with how to deal with the blaze, trying to find the means and space to accommodate everything from tip to tail without choking on the smoke, or instinctively reframing these fumes as incense. But it's hard to look on the bright side of things when it feels like hope is so combustible, when everything feels like it is burning to the ground: social infrastructure, governing bodies, the decorum of the democratic process. Hell, even the very air we breathe no longer feels guaranteed as we continue to spice and spike it with chemical-laden particulates amidst all the hot takes we spew out so brazenly. I mean, after all, what is more incendiary than shared despair? Whether it be from across the sea, as firebrand clamor spills blood over right of land, turning otherwise incandescent lives into tindered corpses, bonfire, or on our own shores, as we lionize liars with political sway, sentence our darker-skinned siblings to swift silence, and burn our way through our carbon reserves like a scorned lover fueled by reckless spite. Perhaps this is not but a byproduct of spending 2.5 years in a state of suspended animation, all our big plans turned to ash by the unexpected inferno of global disease. Maybe this involuntary isolation acted as its own powder keg for explosive reclamation, inciting a fight and flight response as we speed through our supply, when really we just feel a burning sensation at the center of the soul, charred from our own trauma. I breathe heavy, not from respiratory stress, but at the notion of coalescing with a culture that continues to smolder from the inside out. We are not invulnerable, nor are we simply the sum of our deaths. But what else will be the nature of our legacy if we leave little to no nature left? I reflect these questions forlornly to the river, Pai Me Pai, not looking for answers per se, but to escape these pyro-panic thoughts coursing through me and find some means of release. I pause, throw a few stones that ripple across the water's edge, and try to quell this near eruption brewing within me by witnessing the breath of beauty around me. The innocuous laugh and echoing bell from a family of 3 biking along the riverbed. The quiet sigh of sun-drunk lovers, searching for shared sanctuary in the shade of a sandbar willow. The raucous squawk of dueling mallards, the chorus of croaks from a frog quartet, a drifting hum from someone with nowhere else to be, and all the whispered thank yous from every tribe this river touches. I think, yes, the world is ablaze with dispute and misuse, and survival has become such a hot topic, but maybe in this slice of SoCal, we can find oasis in the micro moments we have control over by looking towards the ways of water. The river itself, a testament to cleansing, despite the accumulation of filth and debris still flowing fervently all across the county and supporting so much life, symbolizing reflection, bouncing light off an unbroken surface, how we all could learn to share each other's shine without compromising form or freedom, how wondrous this life elixir is. That it can be both storm and still lake by same measure. Not that our earth needs any more tempest than it already holds, but that this sense of impending end is cyclical by design, bordering near calm. We merely need to remember how to weather, and how regardless of route, time, type, or texture, water is still recognized as water, maintains the central facet of what it is. What better reminder is there of what it means to be innately human? It takes but a few small trickles to form a sizable body, just as a few souls in tandem can merge to form a mission. The buoyancy of the human heart is not to be dismissed, nor all it can encompass, because in this day and age, it is all too easy to get heated and lose one's way in the flames of nihilism. But if we are to enact any kind of lasting change, not just hassle but heal, it needs to come from a cool head, a nourished mind, and equal parts fire and flood.
My name is Amanee Juditz, Izhaq, and I will be performing 2 pieces today. This first piece is called The Water. Whenever I'm feeling low, I go to the water. Something about it that soothes me. Maybe it's the way it runs without fail. Maybe it's the way it babbles like a baby. Soft, serene, and everything in between. There's just something about it. It never quits, and neither do I. Its current swift. They never die.
It flows despite fallen branches and broken straws prodding at its belly. It rolls in spite of man-made latches and rusty levees. The pressure builds high and the weight grows heavy, but the water remains steady. Sometimes when I'm mad, I throw stones at her. Even then, she's strong enough to take it. David never feared Goliath. Though he was little, he knew he could make it. I slingshot my anger into her raging waters. The ripples grow in size until the rings capsize and it swallows the rubble. The stone sinks and up floats a bubble. The water never struggles. I wish to be like the water, ever flowing even when it's stagnant, ever loving even when it's not content. It is my intent to be like the water. It is my fate, I am its daughter. The earth my father, and together I'm soldered. They say that blood is thicker than water. I say that's a diluted idea. Because when blood becomes polluted and you're not suited to cleanse your own veins, water always finds a way to wash away the pain. Don't be afraid of the rain, for water molds clay. Water always finds a way, and so will I. At least I'll give it a try. Rather than wonder why I feel all dried up and that I'm all out of luck, because the water doesn't believe in luck, it believes in itself. It knows it is strong enough to weather the storm. It knows it will always see the shore of this city shore, and new waves will be reborn. From the water we are born, and we will end our lives in the water, buried deep beneath the earth we walk. Our bodies decompose into the wet soil, and again we will compose new life. Because nothing grows without water, and neither do I. So I'll keep going to the water so long as I'm alive. I'll keep going to the water because the water is wise. I keep going to the water because it helps me survive. The second one is called Thankful. I'm thankful for this breath. I'm thankful for this life. I'm thankful for the sky, the forests, the oceans, and the mountains. For this astounding stream of consciousness and everything that comes along with it. The confusion, the delusion, the nuisances and nuances. I'm thankful to live through them all. I'm thankful for clarity. For the charity that I give and that's given to me, for overwhelming joy and awe. I'm thankful for withdrawals, for when I don't have the wherewithal, for when I fall and inevitably crawl my way back to homeostasis. I'm thankful on a daily basis, for I know all this could be taken away in an instant. So I listen to my breath and my heart. I seek inner truth in the direction that my soul is meant to move. I'm thankful for music and magic. I'm thankful that every room I walk into, I have a hat trick to woo the monitor. I'm thankful for feelings of astonishment, for honesty and courage, for guttural urges and surges of creativity, for simplicity and complexity. For those who sit next to me that never left me even when I was desertable. So I serve this world in hopes of paying back my debts. For I understand exactly what I have. Even when I'm sad, I'm glad to know the feeling. I'm glad to know the healing and the moments of relief. I'm thankful for peace and for teachers. Seekers who speak the lessons they've learned, all the while knowing they themselves aren't done searching.
I'm thankful for discernment and those who mention my name in spaces that I'm not physically in. I'm thankful for the wind and whichever way it blows, for I know that it's done with a purpose. I earnestly devote myself to this life. I am beside myself with gratitude for this breath, for this bliss, and for fulfilling the universe's every last wish.
Like a river, 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 like a river. Shut your mouth and run me like a river. How do we fall in love? Harder than a bullet could hit you. How do we fall apart? Faster than a hairpin trigger. Don't you say, don't you say, don't say, don't you say, one breath, it'll just break me. So shut your mouth and run me like a river. Shut your mouth, baby, stand and deliver. Holy hands pulling, make me a sinner. Like a river, like a river. Shut your mouth and run me like a river. Show this love till the veins start to simmer. One last breath till the tears start to wither. Like a river, like a river. Shut your mouth and run me like a river. Tales of an endless ride. Cursed is a fool who's willing. Can't change the way we are. One kiss away from killing. Don't you say, don't you say, don't say, don't you say. One breath, it'll just break me. So shut your mouth and run me like a river. Shut your mouth, baby, stand and deliver. Holy hands pulling, make me a sinner. Like a river, like a river. Shut your mouth and run me like a river. Show this love till the veins start to simmer. One last breath till the tears start to wither. Like a river, like a river. Shut your mouth and run me like a river. Like a river, 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 like a river. Shut your mouth and run me like a river. Shut your mouth, baby, stand and deliver. Holy hands pulling, make me a sinner. Like a river, like a river. Shut your mouth and run me like a river. Show this love till the veins start to simmer. One last breath till the tears start to wither. Like a river, like a river. Shut your mouth and run me like a river.
Hello, my name is Heather Pease, and I have 3 poems for you today. Santa Ana's versus Colossus. The wind started softly, skipping fall leaves across yellowing grass. It blew and blew and grew and blew, stronger as shadows consumed the day. Colossal evergreen stood mature, waving off the wind, so warm, so young. It battered at scaly bark with with flurries, heavy limbs, losing. Losing thousands of pine needles, browning haystacks, blowing down sidewalk. Broke barked branches of other trees littered the yard, but it was beneath, where dark water pooled, rippled, babbled and bubbled, stripping soil from roots rooted for ages, slowly saturating the earth, drowning a splendid soul. The wind pushed and pushed and whooshed, while water churned against drowning roots, no longer cradled within. The tree cracked, splintered, then slowly laid down, sat sprawling on the street. Streetlights spotlighted, golden drops dripped from pine wounds, the whole of her exposed. The wind licked and laughed with no mercy, left the earth a raging, gaping grave. The water gurgled at the extinction as soil mourned this abrupt opening, this torn ending. Those trucks chopped for days and days and days. Tools flipped earth over, the flowing water below covered up, no longer a tree for cover. A cover-up? We cannot cover it up forever. The second poem is actually a poem using lyrics from Matchbox 22's song, How Far We've Come. I've changed them and taken out what I didn't like and kept what I did. I've changed the title too. It's called The World is Burning. Artist. I believe the world is burning to the ground, but it's feeling just like every other morning before. I wonder what my life is going to mean if it's gone. Started crying and I couldn't stop, but I feel like it's just like every other morning before. I sat down on the street and took a look at myself. Started crying and I couldn't stop. The cars are moving like a half a mile an hour. I sat down on the street and took a look at myself, said, "Where are you going? You know the world is headed for hell." The cars are moving like a half a mile an hour. I started running, but there's nowhere to run to. Said, "Where are you going? The world is headed for hell." Oh, well, I guess we're just going to pretend. I started running, but there's nowhere to run to. I can't remember caring for an hour or so. Oh, well, I guess we're going to pretend. I wonder what my life is going to mean if it's gone. I can't remember caring for an hour or so. I believe the world is burning to the ground. This is my final poem. It is called Mother Earth. The earth is dying, they say, but it rained for days. Surely that will help. I mean, here, maybe not where you are. The Amazon truck is late again, probably due to flooding. So inconvenient. And I picked up a piece of trash once because somebody was watching. And I'm not watching the news, all this toxic water again, just scroll for a cat video. One with no catastrophes, of course, unless it's funny. What memes did I send you today? Listen, they keep asking, when will someone listen? Are we waiting for someone to grow up? Will we grow up? Grow. They say that the earth is dying and that I am killing my mother, but we don't talk anymore.
Hi, my name is Jesse Soriano. I wrote this song to answer the question of the prompt for reflections. How do you feel about healing? And I'd like to dedicate this song to everyone here. of your love. I've seen light in winter in the day, but of all your lessons taught me the most. Oh, invisible chains and